Welcome to Incredible, where we discover the weird and wonderful in this world. Competitive eaters are amazing, but YouTuber Matt Stonie takes things further, eating incredible amounts of food in short spans of time, not only at contests, but on his wildly popular YouTube channel. Despite this, how does the 28-year-old 5'8", 130-pound diner do this, and do so without porking up? You're not going to believe what he does or the dangers he faces down the road. Competitive eating. In a country known as the Land of Plenty, it should come as no surprise that there are contests to see who can eat the largest amount of food in a set time or the shortest time. While competitive eating is as old as history itself, as found in myth and legend and seen in tales of gluttonous feasts by the wealthy throughout the time, it's believed that the first big competitive eating contest in the US occurred with Nathan's hot dog eating contest, with legend saying it began in 1916. While the exact date remains uncertain, the contest has been held almost every year since, and the 2020 champion downed an incredible 75 hot dogs. From there, things have expanded around the world, with competitive eating achieving popularity in Japan, Canada, and the United States. Competitive eating is so big that it hits the major leagues, the Major League of Eating that is, a world body that regulates and supervises all pro eating events. There's even a governing body, the International Federation of Competitive Eating, which helps sponsors to help publicize and execute world-class eating events in all varieties of food disciplines. Matt Stonie, elite eater. Matt Stonie is one of the world's elite of the elite in terms of competitive eaters. Matt Stonie first hit the scene when he won a lobster eating roll contest in 2010. He edged out the competition by just half a roll, but it led to a $1,000 prize, beginning the road to gastric greatness, which now includes numerous records, a current world ranking of number 3 in the Major League of Eating, an extremely lucrative YouTube channel, and more. Stonie is listed at the Major League of Eating as holding records ranging from eating 14.5 pounds of birthday cake to 10 pounds of spaghetti and red sauce in 8 minutes to 182 strips of bacon in 5 minutes. So how does Stonie do it? Training. Ask most competitive eaters how they do it and they'll mention some sort of training, even if it hasn't been perfected to a science. In 2015, Matt commented on the training, saying, "A lot of us don't know what we're doing, we're just experimenting. Sometimes people go a little gung-ho, a little overboard and hurt themselves." However, when it came to training for the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, he clearly had something in mind, telling USA Today, he ate as many as 60 hot dogs 3 times a week and followed some of those practice sessions by drinking almost a gallon of water. Stonie describes the feeling of drinking as much water as I can afterwards till, bluntly put, I feel like I'm going to explode. As Stonie expanded his eating endeavors, he also explored his options for improving his ability to down lots of food in little time. For example, Stonie has explained in interviews how he consumes gross quantities of food in order to train for his various contests and exploits. One story noted he puts away 15,000 calories per meal, which is 6 times the recommendation for men, and he routinely pounds down hot dogs, fried asparagus, and frozen yogurt, commenting on their high-calorie content. A competitive edge? An important factor in Matt's training regimen is his knowledge of nutrition. Indeed, he attended college pursuing studies in nutrition, and these have paid off, helping him understand the body's ability to process certain types of food, as well as the challenges of eating these foods. His eating regime isn't just about gorging himself on food and expanding his belly to take in more food. For years, he's stuck to a strict regime of exercising and eating, one which has allowed him to consume 10 to 15% of his total body weight. He understands the fundamentals of feasting. One of the keys to competitive eating is learning how to handle the satiety reflex. Satiety is a warning sign triggered by the brain when it senses the stomach has been filled with about a liter of food. If any more food is added, vomiting is likely to happen. Now, in order to overcome this, competitive eaters drink large amounts of water in a short amount of time. As disgusting as it may sound, they also build up their resistance to gagging by sticking their fingers down their throat. Jaw power also plays a part in chowing down. According to one article, competitive eaters will chew as many as 20 pieces of gum at once to exercise the muscles of the jaw and mouth. As we'll see, there is a special technique to chowing down loads of food without choking, a risk that has ended the lives of competitive eaters. Without this training, it's unlikely anyone would stand a chance of winning. Equally important is the secret of eating so much food without packing on the pounds. Just as there is a science driving the preparation for competitive eating, there's also a science behind fighting the body's natural tendency to add weight whenever excess calories are consumed. Just as eaters have learned how to make their bodies more adaptable to ingesting unusually large amounts of food in one sitting, they've learned these same methods help control a caloric intake. As illogical as it may seem, these eaters know that the body will expel most of this food rather than taking the time to break it down via digestion. Did you just down over 100 strips of bacon? Not a problem in the case of competitive eaters like Matt Stonie, as most of the food takes the express lane out of the gastrointestinal tract. We'll leave the details up to your imagination. Part of this seems to be because competitive eaters increase their stomach capacities to 4 liters rather than the average of 1 liter. But just expanding the stomach size is only one part of becoming a successful competitive eater. There are other steps for keeping weight off other than shooting the food out before it can be processed. Although Stonie seems busy at all time chowing down food, he claims to maintain a strict diet when he's not competing, and that he also maintains a strict regimen of cardio and weight training. Once again, his knowledge of nutrition likely keeps him slim. So far, Stonie's weight loss efforts have paid off, but what does the future hold for Stonie and other competitive eaters? As we're about to see, it may not be a pleasant one. Potential dangers. Competitive training can and has been proven lucrative for Stonie. However, there are short and long-term dangers, the first being the obvious one of choking during a contest, which has happened at several events ranging from pie eating contests to water drinking contests to taco eating contests. In 2017, 2 people died over one weekend in competitive eating contests, with one man choking to death eating pancakes while another died due to donuts. According to the pros of competitive eating, an amateur move is to take a large bite rather than small bites that do not need to be chewed and can be swallowed. Remember how we mentioned the professional's pursuit of strong jaws? That's just another example of how the various factors add up to success for some eaters and failure for others. Still, there are long-term consequences that current champions may want to consider. According to a 2007 study, Competitive Speed Eating: Truth and Consequences, we speculate that professional speed eaters eventually may develop morbid obesity, profound gastroparesis, intractable nausea and vomiting, and even the need for a gastrectomy. Despite its growing popularity, competitive speed eating is a potentially self-destructive form of behavior. While competitive eating remains controversial, its popularity shows no sign of ending anytime soon. As for health risk, competitive eaters seem almost indifferent to consequences, real as they are. Matt Stonie may face an uncertain future health-wise, but right now he has his competitive eating game perfected, and there's no telling what future records he'll set. What do you think of these incredible feats of eating? Let us know in the comments down below, and be sure to join us next time for more incredible videos.